Hello, how are you doing? Today I'd like to share some thoughts on space. Space in the TONGLEN teachings. Those teachings, when they first went to Tibet, were very secret. For 5 generations they blended the deepest of understandings of the truth of all existence, the truth of mind, with the relative practice of using our breath and turning our life breath into compassion. So I'd like to start by recalling something the present Jawa Karmapa taught us, shared with us in Paris a few years ago. And he was saying there are various meditations based on our breath, but not just using the breath. He said, first let's be aware of breath itself, because it's our life. As long as we're breathing in, breathing out, then we're alive. We're in this particular story, this package of karma that's our life, the people we meet, the circumstances, and so on. When we stop breathing and this life ends, our mind will go on a great journey where it will be reabsorbed in a much greater multi-layered space and re-emerge sometime in the future in another life, which could be so different from this one. In the last talk I mentioned my friend Bill, who died. Goodness knows where he went and perhaps who he is and where he is now. It may be quite a surprise. But anyway, that's a personal story. So this breath is our life, and normally it's something neutral. We just breathe. Often we're not even aware of the fact until something goes wrong. But with the Tonglen practice, then we turn this life breath into compassion. As we breathe in, we're aware of suffering of others. In between the in-breath and the out-breath, or if we hold the breath, we remain in a place of great stability, kindness, purity and light. And then from that place, as we breathe out healing into ourself, into our fellow beings. We breathe out wisdom, we breathe out joy. Compassion. Compassion on the in-breath, compassion on the out-breath. So today what I wanted to talk about was the more ultimate aspect, which is to do with space. The space in which all of this happens. If you're a sculptor or a photographer or an artist, you'll know about space. So let's take a few examples. Fish. I've got a fish pond here, and one can watch the fish, the red fish, the white fish, and if you've got a fish tank and all those amazing tropical fish, you can watch them come and go. But we can also be aware of the water in which they come and go, which is constant. You look at the water and then there's nothing, and then a fish swims in and swims away, and it's gone. We can look out the window up into the sky, and there's the space, and then a bird comes and a bird goes. The forms of life that we see exist in space. They came into that room and occupied a space. That space is there, occupied just now, and when they're taken away, it will still be there. Sound, the very sound of this voice as I talk to you, comes from space, from nowhere. There was nothing, and then it's there coexisting with space, and then it's gone forever into space. So the practice, which could be considered and is sometimes transmitted as a very deep practice. I received it from Khenpo Sotim Jamso some goodness knows, 25 years ago, which is called becoming aware of the space between mental activities. Whether it's your thinking, whether it's your feelings and moods, your happiness, sadness, anger, whatever it is. First, that thought, that feeling, that mood wasn't there. Or even that meditation experience. And then it's there, coexisting with the space of mind. And then it's gone. So the space is constant. It lasts. Whereas everything else is very impermanent and comes through interdependence. We mean karma. It's the playing out of your karma story. The people we meet, what happens with them, our own health, poverty, wealth, and so on, comes and goes in this space of mind. So again and again in life, we use our five senses, we use our intelligence, and we become aware of the space in which things exist. And we spend time with that material space. And then we turn that to our own inner understanding, our own direct awareness in the moment of mind, of the various movies our mind is creating. And we understand. We come to understand more of ourselves. Now, one example I really like a lot is the old movie projectors in a cinema. And you have, if you look at the projector, you have the light bulb, which shines a constant white light. And then in front of it, you have the celluloid film, which is running at so many frames a minute. That celluloid film is interdependence. Actors, directors, producers all came together. They made imprints onto a film, eventually through all the processes, and now that passes in front of the constant white light onto the constant white screen. And there's a story. It could be anything from Donald Duck to Gone with the Wind to Matrix or whatever you like. It comes and it goes. It was made, it plays, it's finished. But the space, the white light, the white screen remains constant. So in ourselves, we have an inner me that experiences, a seeming outer life which manifests to us. These are like the movie taking place, the celluloid. But if we find the space of mind that's constant in which they happen, and we become used to it and return to it again and again, then in the process of being with the space, we let go the intensity of being totally absorbed in the details of the moment, the happiness, the pain, the place, the reality. Like now, I'm in confinement in France. The outer realities change. Some people will suffer a lot, some people will enjoy it. So, the space of mind. Now, as we get used to it, at first it is just this seemingly neutral space of our mind. But then, with time, once we're used to that space, and once we have done what I mentioned in another of these talks, taken refuge again and again from our hearts in humility, we'll find that that space is inhabited by limitless, unconditional blessing, a blessing in the form of clarity, of wisdom, of skill in responding to the relative details of life. So much that happens all by itself. Now, this could be that simple. Some people find this sacred, changeless, blessed space of mind simply through the power of having done it in their past lives. Other people work through the graduated meditation practices of Mahamudra or Dzogchen, and so on and so on. But it could be this simple, and in these extraordinary times, maybe you could try. Every moment you can, be aware of the space in which the details manifesting to your five senses are happening. And then, once you have the habit, rather than being caught up in your thoughts and the narrative and the story, keep returning to the space of mind. It is very liberating. It's a wonderful thing to do. Well, good luck. Good luck. See you soon.